Jimbo Fisher, who's won a national championship here at Florida State back in 2013, his 8th year on the sideline. He is 4-0 against the Orange. The ball's in the air, and we're rolling on the ACC network. Sean Riley watches it sail over his head and through the end zone. So we'll see the Orange on offense to start our football game this afternoon. Time for the Food Line Impact Players. Syracuse on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, we talked about the quarterback leading rusher. Dante Strickland will get a tribute on that running game as well. You see, he had over 100 yards against Miami as well 2 weeks ago. And Service, the center, a freshman, has done an excellent job. He's got a freshman to his left as well. They've done a nice job protecting Dungy. We talk about Dungy, 7th in the country in total offense. Outstanding player, and boy, is he tough.
78 degrees as we get started in Tallahassee. It's Phillips trying to string it out, and he gets stopped by Florida State. Loss of 1.
Yeah, this is where Syracuse wants to speed things up. They've been averaging the snap at right around 21 seconds. They'd like to go a little bit faster than that. This is a team that likes to throw a lot of plays. They're averaging about 86 plays, 87 plays a game.
That number of plays, 4th most in the Football Bowl subdivision for the Orange. 2nd down for Dungy. Lets it go quickly over the middle. It is caught. Irvin Phillips makes the grab, and he got 6 yards.
Yeah, and important to tackle in space. Excellent job by Kyle Myers to make the tackle in the slot. That's something you have to do against Syracuse, though. A lot of short passes. You must tackle in space if you're Florida State.
15 straight games with a reception for Phillips. 3rd down for the Orange. Another quick release from Dungy, and it's enough for a 1st down near the 40. Phillips again is the target, and they got 9.
Yeah, Phillips is saying, fill me up, man. They can't cover me. He's in that slot area we talked about. Phillips, outstanding, understands coverage, does a nice job of slipping inside Myers there.
From its own 39 for the Orange, this is Dungy trying to go up the middle. Got 2 Food Line Impact Players for the Noles.
Matt Thomas will be one of those guys that will shadow Dungy when he runs the football. And, of course, Brian Burns, outstanding edge player. Can they hold up against the run? Had a tough time against the BC run a week ago. Let's see if they can hold up against Syracuse trying to run the ball right at him.
Dave Burns also big on special teams. 3 career block punts for Burns, including one last year in the victory against Syracuse at the Carrier Dome. 2nd and 9. Strickland. Roadblock at the 40. There is no gain.
I think it's the defense that took offense to what happened to him a week ago. Didn't play with a ton of energy defensively, and really BC got after him, physically ran the ball on him. You can see there was a resolve, and talking to the coaches this week, Charles Kelly in particular, resolve on this defensive side to get back to playing Florida State football defensively.
Another 3rd down for the Orange. They converted their first one on this drive from the 41. 3rd and 9 for Dungy in Syracuse.
This is where Florida State can mix things up. You see a lot of players standing up, a lot of different changes, looks.
Dungy has the time, a little touch on it. Derwin James went up to get it, and he's picked it off.
Well, Tommy fools him. Derwin James is one of those guys that was standing up in the line of scrimmage before the snap, and this is what he does. He's got such great speed. He disguises the play. Now he's going to bail out and take the wheel route. He just jumps the route of the back. Strickland, and there he is. The All-American makes a huge play. Missed all of last year with an injury. Had a tremendous freshman season and a big play here early. And this is something Florida State has not been able to do, is turn the other team over. Came in with only 5 turnovers on the year.
First interception of the year for Derwin James, the sophomore from Haines City, Florida. Noles on offense with excellent field position after the interception. It's Blackman.
Blackman on the keeper.
Well, you look at James Blackman, obviously forced into service because of the injury to DeAndre Francois in the opening game against Alabama. And the young kid's played good. I mean, you're talking about this kid playing high school football last year. He's done a nice job of trying to absorb what Jimbo wants him to do. They've pared the playbook down a little bit for him to match what he can do. Not a great runner, so interesting they'd run the football right there. That's not something they've done with him very much.
Out of Glades Central High School, Belle Glade, Florida. 2nd down after he got 7 on that rush for James Blackman, the freshman. Akers should have 1st down yardage. near the 42 of Syracuse. The Food Line impact players for the Noles on offense.
You just saw in Cam Akers, he was the #1 running back in the country last year, coming out of high school, now playing here, trying to replace Dalvin Cook and Patrick with the injury. And Auden Tate, huge receiver on the outside, 6'5", 225. He is playing a little bit banged up, so have to continue to watch what he can do. This is a wide receiver corps, Tom, that's been banged up all year long.
This Florida State offense struggled just over a week ago on the road at Boston College. Just 213 total yards for Florida State. 1st and 10, they swing it out into the flat. Akers makes a cut near the 42, but dragged down. Zaire Franklin had a piece of him. There is a penalty marker on the field, thrown at the 40. Gary Patterson, our referee this afternoon.
Now we take a look at the Food Line impact players for Syracuse defensively. Chris Slayton is one of those guys up front. Does a good job of creating some pressure. See 21.5 career tackles for loss. And Rodney Williams, he'll play a big role in this game. Roam in the middle back there, trying to seek out some of these outstanding Florida State wide receivers. Last year had a big day, had 8 tackles and a sack in a loss to Florida State up in the Carrier Dome.
45-14, the win for Florida State on the road last year. That was the Dalvin Cook show, Dave. 4 rushing touchdowns for Cook.
This is something that Florida State's had a tough time with, is overcoming some of their mistakes. Major penalty here. Let's see if Florida State can overcome that on the offensive side of the ball.
They gave it to Rasul for 2 yards up the middle. Austin Valdez getting in the way for the Orange.
Talking to Jimbo Fisher about his young quarterback and what do you do? He said the first thing that you know about him is he's really tough. And I said, why do you have tough guys at quarterback? You Jameis Winston, and you got DeAndre Francois, and you got this kid. He goes, we coach it. That's something we coach. We want tough guys playing quarterback for him. That's what we look for when we're looking for that quarterback. What is it in his DNA? That's what we're looking for. And they have a tough guy at quarterback, seems like, all the time. This guy's slightly built, Tom, but he's still tough as nails.
6'5" and 169 pounds. For the freshman, wants to uncork it down the center of the field. He's got a receiver. It's a touchdown. Florida State. Naquan Murray gets behind that Orange secondary.
Well, exactly what the doctor ordered for an offense. It's averaging just under 18 points a game. Big time throw under pressure by Blackman right down the pipe to his speed guy, Murray. Murray running the deep post right. And you see how excited the true freshman at quarterback is. Boy, it's been hard coming, tough sledding for him to try to make big plays down the field. He got one right there.
Ricky Aguayo has the extra point. Dave, 51 yards on the connection for the TD.
Florida State gets a turnover to start the game. Derwin James makes a play, and how about Naquan Murray from Blackman? The Noles early. Tom, a couple things here. Tampa 2, is he getting enough depth, or is this safety supposed to be back? Because Murray is going to split the middle of the field on the post route from the slot. You see Bennett trying to get some depth, but he never gets there. It's an easy throw and catch to Murray right down the pipe. So blown coverage right there by Syracuse.
Once again, that kickoff through the end zone. Logan Tyler, and there is no return. Dave, let's go around the ACC. It's presented by Mattress Firm. The 4 other games later today.
Yeah, it's a great slate of games. Obviously, the big one is later. The 2 big ones later on. Clemson, NC State, and of course Virginia Tech, Miami tonight in South Florida. Those 2 will kind of set the table potentially what was going to be in Charlotte. But how about Wake Forest going to Notre Dame? Notre Dame better be buckled up for Dave Clawson's team.
Notre Dame leads Wake in that series 3-0 as the Deacs go on the road. Zach Mahoney has committed the game for the Orange. They got 1 on that first play. They have struggled, though, when they allow the opponent to score first. Syracuse 0-4 this season when their opponent puts points on the board before them. 2nd and 9. Syracuse just beyond the 25-yard line. Mahoney with a forward flip to Strickland.
Well, Tom, things changed dramatically for Syracuse with Mahoney in the game. He is not a run threat like Dungy is, and we're still trying to kind of figure out what's going on. We got DJ on that, DJ Shock, to try to figure out what's going on with Eric Dungy. But Mahoney, not the runner that Dungy is, does hold the records. He had counted for 7 touchdowns in a game you and I did last year against Pitt. So he does have the ability to ring it up, but you got to protect him.
Yeah, 137 points they had between Pittsburgh and Syracuse in regulation, the most in a regulation game in the Football Bowl subdivision. Dungy did not play in this game last year. Mahoney's in there. That pass is on the money at the 35. Zach Mahoney slinging it, and he hits Ishmael. First down, Orange.
Well, this is the matchup you're looking for. McFadden against Ishmael on the outside. Good job, good timing by Mahoney to get it out as soon as Ishmael came out of his break. Excellent throw and catch and a first down.
Yeah, Dungy was dealing with injury last year and did not participate in the game at the Dome between the Noles and Orange. They'll take Strickland into the line. Second effort. Just past the 40 for Strickland. He got 1.
And so far, Florida State's been extremely stout against the run, which you would expect. They embarrassed in the performance a week ago. Obviously, outstanding job by Steve Adazio's team to run the football right at them. So Florida State trying to swell up against the run here early. And when you do that, now you force Syracuse into some uncomfortable third down situations.
5th game in which Mahoney has seen action. He keeps it just beyond the 40. He stopped for maybe a yard. Josh Sweat on the tackle. So Dungy went into the locker room. Now he's back out.
Well, he took a shot. He ran the ball on that design quarterback draw. Took a shot. There he is on the sideline. Had his shoe off. They evidently went in, took a look at his ankle. Now going to kind of gear back up. But it's Mahoney's job right now.
Dave hits his man near the 50 to Irvin Phillips. 9 yards.
Excellent throw. Mahoney is last year, Tom, you mentioned he played in about 10 games a year ago. The game we saw played extremely well against Pitt. Completed 60% of his passes a year ago.
Yeah, 5 TD passes and a couple of rushing touchdowns in the losing effort against Pittsburgh for Mahoney. Out of the pocket, right side near the 40, and that's incomplete. Looking for Sean Riley. Levante Taylor was back there defensively for the Seminoles.
Yeah, long throw there. Wide side of the field. Just short hopped it in there. Running a lot of stop routes, trying to threaten coming off the ball, threaten deep, then set it down.
Mahoney to the 45 of Florida State to Irvin Phillips for 7 yards.
Yeah, and I'm not sure there's a guy that understands coverage, Tom, better than Irvin Phillips. He does an outstanding job of reading man and zone. He's got a lot of option routes to the inside. Mentioned he caught 17 passes against NC State in a game you and I did earlier in the year. Just love his ability to find those open areas. And when Syracuse working at the tempo they want to work at.
Yeah, he's up to 65 catches for the season. Orange again deflected and nearly picked at the 30. Off of the deflection. Stanford Samuels had it end up right in his face all of a sudden.
Yeah, trying to get the ball to Riley on the inside, and Derwin James is the guy that was there that batted the ball, or was there in on the ball.
Missed it by that much. Syracuse will keep possession, but they must punt now on 4th down.
DJ Matthews, deep to receive for the Seminoles.
DJ Matthews, deep man for Florida State. Looks like there's a timeout on the field. And Florida State has taken the timeout.
Tallahassee, Florida on a football Saturday. They're ready here in Seminole land. Are you? 7-0 Noles.
Nobody goes for it more than the Orange. This is their 26th time, but it will be the short little pooch punt. Takes an Orange roll near the 5. That was Zach Mahoney.
How about that? Mahoney with a little pooch punt.
43-yard punt.
Yeah, Dino shows his offense on the field. It gets Florida State to put their defense back out there. No punt return unit or anybody back to catch the ball. And nice job by Mahoney to execute. You do all that, Tom. You can draw it up and say, okay, we're going to do the little pooch punt. Now you got to execute. Nice job by Mahoney. drop it down near the 5-yard line.
Our 1st and 10 line presented by Cookout, serving fresh char-grilled hamburgers and 40 fancy milkshakes. Much longer field for the Noles to deal with this time around in their 2nd possession. Akers off the line. Out of bounds just beyond the 10-yard line. Dragged out by Paris Bennett, the leading tackler on this Orange defense. He got 6.
So, Tom, we talked about Cam Akers, #1 recruit at the running back position in the country coming out. And obviously huge shoes to fill when he's talking about Dalvin Cook moving on to the National Football League. But they love this kid. He's got some of those special qualities.
Akers again, diving for 1st down yardage. Swept out by Valdez, but the sticks are going to roll for Florida State after a 7-yard gain from Akers.
The key here, Tom, is think about how these guys, the legacy of the players these guys follow. You talk about Dalvin Cook, Warwick Dunn. I mean, the list goes. Devontae Freeman. It's unbelievable. Shock the guys that come in here to Florida State and the roles they have to fill with the legends that have moved on.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the type of backs they get. They all come in and they produce really well, and they be able to step in and play big-time football. As you can see, James Blackman completes a nice pass over to the right side. But these backs are special in their own right. They be able to come here and be able to do it all, not just in the run game, but you see them on 3rd down, be able to catch the football and also be successful in the pass protection game, which is the biggest part of being a true freshman, and then also being a back here at Florida State.
Yeah, I think that's the weight of what it is to play at a program like this, and obviously these guys welcome it. They want that opportunity. That's why Cam Akers is here. He can't wait to put his name in the record book, and he's getting that opportunity to do it as a freshman.
2nd and 5 for Florida State. Blackman.
Haven't seen a lot of this, Tom, where Blackman is the feature runner on plays. He's taken such a beating this year in throwing the football that they really haven't exposed him to the run game a ton. But already here in the 1st quarter, we've seen a couple of design runs. Outstanding athlete is James Blackman. Considered a pocket passer coming out of high school. You mentioned it out of Glade Central, threw for 2,500 yards and 14 touchdowns a year ago as a senior. They really kind of forced him to service. They didn't think he was going to be playing with DeAndre Francois returning as a redshirt sophomore.
Just 34% on 3rd down, the worst in the conference, and swallowed up by Devin M. Butler is Blackman for a loss of 11.
Now, Butler is a guy they like to bring from that slot area, and here he comes. Nobody accounts for him, and Blackman certainly didn't see him. Freshman quarterback did not see the extra rusher coming off the edge, and that's why Syracuse has been so good on 3rd down. #2 in the country and getting you off the field on 3rd down.
Riley ready for the punt. Tyler from his 1. Riley standing at his 38-yard line. Comes up to meet it at the 46. Gets away from a couple of Noles. Cut at the 43 and inside the 40. Sean Riley with a nifty return. The punt was 39 yards. The return 16 for Riley. Noles in front of the Orange 7-0, and we'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. December 2nd, as the Syracuse training staff working on that ankle of Eric Dungy, Dave.
Yeah, he must have really turned it pretty good, and Mahoney now will start again. Mahoney looked pretty sharp when he came in, Tom. Excellent run there.
Handing off to Mo Neal for 8 yards as we check in with DJ.
Talk about Dungy being on the sideline. We just got a report from the staff that he's looking at his foot, and he's questionable right now. Not much, but if I get more, I'll let you guys know.
DJ, thank you. That one knocked down by Sweat, who deflected that pass attempt from Zach Mahoney.
He got kind of rolled up right there, Tom. Kind of a strange angle. His foot goes down. Took him out of the game, went in and took a look at it, and now he's over on the side. They're trying to tape it and kind of give him some relief from whatever pain he was feeling on the foot. They taped the foot up first, and now they're spatting the shoe to try to give him a little bit of support.
3 for 5 on 3rd down for the Orange. 5th in the conference in 3rd down conversions. They won't get this one. Mo Neal swallowed by the Nole defense.
Well, they've got some stout guys in the middle, and it's led by Derek Noddy. Noddy, number 91, is the guy that's really going to swell up in the middle and kind of make the play bounce to the left for Strickland, but no place to go because Burns is waiting on him as well. This has been a much different Florida State defense against the run here early in the game.
It's going to be a 48-yard field goal attempt by Cole Murphy. 55 career field goals for Murphy. It's a low liner. No good. Cole Murphy.
And that's an excellent stop by Florida State's defense. Short field situation with the punt return by Riley. Florida State's defense comes out and shuts the door.
So a miss from 48 yards for Murphy as we go back to Charlotte.
For our Hardee's update, we are looking ahead to NC State hosting Clemson in the Textile Bowl.
Can the Wolfpack offense penetrate the Clemson defense? 7th in the nation in total defense. We'll find out this afternoon. Florida State looking to get victory number 3.
A top 20 matchup for our Hardee's update. That one kicks off at 3:30. Tom, Dave?
Wolfpack trying to snap a 5-game losing streak in that series. Blackman, improvisation, and tackle by Zaire Franklin. 3 yards for Blackman.
Yeah, good pressure by Syracuse to force Blackman off his spot. Take a look at the pressure. See the linebackers flowing. Take a look down here. There's probably his best shot right there on the in route. Might be disguised by the linebacker standing in the way. Blackman does the next best thing. Takes care of the ball. Did not put it into coverage you couldn't see. Pulls it down and picks up a nice gain on first down.
2nd and 7 for Florida State.
Minimize the damage as a young quarterback. Nice job by Blackman right there.
Flips it out. Akers. Akers past the 45. Dragged down shy of midfield. But it's Cam Akers on the run. Williams and Bennett had to combine on the stop. 15 yards.
Yeah, a little freeze option pitch to the outside. And look at the 2 guys on the outside blocking the receivers. That's what it takes to run the ball in the 2nd and 3rd level as receivers blocking down the field. Cam Akers, the benefactor there, came in averaging just under 5 yards a carry for the freshman.
Led the team in rushing just over a week ago at Boston College with 42 yards on 18 carries. And Blackman taken down. Alton Robinson, number 94 for the Orange. A loss of 7 for Florida State.
Get a bootleg off of the play fake to Akers. And right now, Robinson right in the backfield. Avoids the block there and puts the quarterback on the ground. Shock, nice play by the Syracuse defense.
Nice play by the defense, but one thing as a young guy, when you come off that bootleg, the first thing you must do is get your head around right now. He never got his head around to see that defender. If he sees him, maybe he can kind of fall away from the throw and get rid of him, but because he wasn't able to get his head around, lost yardage play.
Blackman's pass complete to Murray. He spins at the moment of impact. Only one after all that work, Dave.
Yeah, it's a tunnel screen. They're trying to set up Murray, who's got great speed, come to the inside. Take a look at Zaire Franklin. The great linebackers on this team does a nice job of tracking the football. Really good job by the defense in a whole. They sprung the play out, allowed Franklin to get back in on the play, but that was a key defense, total defensive stop to string Murray out.
Only 15 seconds on the clock. Could be the final play of the quarter. 3rd and long for Florida State. Blackman. Akers taken down at the 42. Open field stop for the Orange. Scoop Bradshaw. And a loss of 1, and that's the last play of the first quarter, Dave Archer. We saw that prior to the game. It's the 6th different Appaloosa horse. A great tradition, planting a spear. Akers made a move. Akers down the sideline, trying to accelerate away from the Orange. Touchdown, Cam Akers.
And we talked about shoes to fill, and we know Dalvin Cook's moved on. Did that not look like Dalvin Cook right there? Made Paris Bennett one of the best tacklers in the conference miss, and then the speed down the sideline by the freshman as he shoves it in the end zone. Only his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year, but what a big one that was. Taking a look, see if he stayed in bounds. He did.
nice job by Cam Akers.
Play is under review. If it stands, it's the second rushing touchdown of the season for Cam Akers.
Clinton, Mississippi native, Tom. Boy, God had an outstanding career. Senior year rush for 2,100 yards and 34 touchdowns at Clinton High School. And you can see he clearly stays inbounds all the way down the line, tight ropes it down the sideline. You know, you're inevitably going to be compared to guys. One guy is on the wall here at Doak Campbell, and that's Warwick Dunn, the great Warwick Dunn. Of course, Dalvin Cook at some point will be up there. He's the all-time leading rusher here. But that was a Cam Akers run. Let's not call it a Dalvin Cook run. That's a Cam Akers run. Big time play.
Gary Patterson confirms things. A touchdown for Cam Akers, 54 yards, his longest run of the season. Second rushing touchdown of the year for Cam Akers. Dave, a drive on one play, 11 seconds, 13-0, extra point pending for the Noles.
Florida State is struck twice from deep. This time it's their top running back and the freshman, Cam Akers, shoves it in the end zone.
Akers, touchdown run to go along with a long touchdown strike for Florida State as we go to Charlotte.
Coming up later tonight in prime time for our Hardee's update, Virginia Tech taking on Miami.
There go the Hokies. They're bringing that lunch pail as well as likely freshman of the year Josh Jackson into Hard Rock Stadium, where the Hokies have only won 2 of the last 4. Canes also have the nation's longest win streak, 12 in a row, going to determine what happens in the Coastal.
That one kicks off at 8 p.m. in Hard Rock Stadium. For now, back to you guys.
Boy, 2 salty defenses, especially the front 7 for both Miami and for Virginia Tech going head-to-head. That's going to be a good one.
Strickland got around that corner for the Orange and out of bounds. 33-yard line, Dave, and an 8-yard pickup for Strickland.
But Tom, this is a very similar start for Dino Babers' team again. We talked about the key for them was a fast start. They didn't get it. So now Zach Mahoney going to have to settle in. He's an outstanding passer. Got to sprinkle the ball around just like that. Get his big-time receivers, Phillips and Ishmael, the ball.
That's up to the 38-yard line to Ishmael, who is second in the nation with 8.3 catches per game, 5 yards on that grab by Ishmael.
Yeah, Florida State just playing zone coverage, and they're challenging Syracuse to throw the ball in the holes, taking away the run game.
Strickland ridden to the turf. Jalen Wilkerson made the tackle for Florida State.
Yeah, what Florida State's saying is you're not running the ball on us. And now with your leading rusher quarterback out of the game, you're not going to run the ball at all against us, and we're going to play zone and see if you can make throws.
Mahoney knocked away from Ishmael. Stanford Samuels.
Well, there's Charles Kelly, defensive coordinator. Talked to Charles yesterday. They're under the gun on defense a little bit. This was the veteran side of the team coming into the season, and last week left a bad taste in Seminole fans' mouths.
3 for 7 on third down, screen pass. Florida State has them fenced in. Strickland nowhere to go. 4th down Orange, loss of 5.
Oh, what a nice job defensively. This is gang tackling now. It's screen, 3-count screen, excellent job. Shock, when you look at the way Florida State's throwing the ball, a lot of hats to the football right now.
Tons of hats to the football. When I talked to Derwin earlier this week, I asked him about this defense and how they haven't played up to par. He said, we have not played Florida State style of flying around, hitting your mouth type of defense. And guys haven't been doing the little things like you talked about in the open, being accountable all the way around for 4 quarters. And the first 2 quarters, they've done that.
Yeah, they sure have.
Fair catch made at the 20 by DJ Matthews. Duke Energy presents a look at the ACC standings, Dave.
Well, NC State Clemson getting ready to tie it up here in about a couple hours. Those two are going to go head-to-head in Raleigh. Boston College has had a nice resurgence there. You're Syracuse. You see them sitting there in the middle of the pack. And, of course, the top 2 are going to tangle at Hard Rock Stadium in South Florida as Miami takes on Virginia Tech. That'll be a fun game to watch. Virginia and Georgia Tech playing each other just below those two, playing each other today as well.
Yeah, Dave, should Miami win and Virginia lose, Miami would earn the spot in the ACC championship game December 2nd. And amazingly, it's the 13th edition of that game. It would be the first time that the Canes participate in that championship.
Yeah, and technically they won the side once before, but with the self-imposed ban on postseason play, they did not go. But you're right. That's kind of what a lot of people thought when they created this ACC championship, that Miami would be there a lot. This would be their first trip if they can find a way to win their way there. Job on first down, Tom, that time by this defense. This is what you need to do, is put the young quarterback in the long yardage situations.
James Blackman at quarterback for the Noles. Akers. 3 and 4 orange helmets around Akers.
Yeah,
only one.
Good tackling on the perimeter, trying to stretch Syracuse. Can they run to the football? Excellent job of getting to the ball and getting Akers on the ground. And so now here you go. You got it at 3rd and 8. This is where this defense has flourished. Number 2 in the country on third down defenses. Eric Dungey checking in and talking with Dino Babers. Begging to try to get back in the game. It's Eric Dungey right now talking to his coach.
0 for 2 on 3rd down for Florida State. Dungey's been in and out of that locker room for the Orange a couple of times here in the first half after playing in the first series for Syracuse and then having to leave the game. Pressure coming from the edges. Blackman lets it go. It's way too far and into that Syracuse bench area looking for Gavin.
Can you get in 3rd and long? Now you can put pressure on. It looks like Thomas, the linebacker, is going to come clean. Number 23 kind of forced the quick throw from Blackman, and he has to throw the ball away. Excellent series of downs defensively for Syracuse.
First 3 and out for Jimbo Fisher's team. Quick chat with Gavin.
Yeah, that's not a chat that Gavin necessarily is excited about either. Must have blown an assignment there. Give his quarterback an outlet on the throw.
Logan Tyler to punt. Sean Riley standing at his 34-yard line to receive this punt. Tyler gets a good piece of this one, driving Riley back to the 24, and a fair catch. 4.5 seconds of hang time. 54 yards on the punt for Logan Tyler. Tailgating here in Tallahassee. Grab something to eat and we'll be back right after a word from your local ACC station. Eric Dungey back into the game. Wants to unload it. Into double coverage, deflected and incomplete. Both teams had a chance at that one. Ishmael running with Taylor and James.
Boy, he tried to tip it to himself, Tom. This is a ball that Florida State plays extremely well. They just don't bat it down or come up with the interception. See him leach in with the left hand and tip it to himself, and he almost came up with it again. But pretty good coverage out there. Florida State making sure they've got a couple players around Ishmael. Big timer for Syracuse.
So Eric Dungey's come back into the game. His first action since the first series for the Orange in the first quarter. Derwin James already has an interception. That in the first quarter, his first of the year. 2nd down for Dungey. Wants to pass again. Scrambles out of that pocket and gets rid of it.
That's certainly not what they wanted to have happen. They'd like to have had a rhythm throw right there where Dungey didn't have to test that foot that's been taped 2 or 3 times. But here, good coverage down the field by the Seminoles. They force him off the spot, and just for good measure, going to dive at that foot if you're a Florida State defender. Make sure he's dancing out of bounds. So 3rd and long again for Syracuse.
3 of 8 for the Orange on 3rd down.
Hey, you're looking at Phillips right here and Ishmael right there. Those are the 2 big timers.
5 receivers to choose from for Dungey. Goes over the middle. Ishmael, very capable hands. The pass on schedule. McFadden made the tackle, but they got 21 on the play.
Again, this is the matchup you're looking for. It's McFadden and Ishmael. McFadden, the All-American from a year ago, 8 interceptions. Ishmael wins to the inside. Excellent throw.
Dungey, all kinds of time. Has to break away and rolls up near the 50.
We talked about in the beginning about Dungey, and what is it that kind of sticks out? Yeah, he's got all the measurables, the skills. The guy's tough. The tough guy. This guy's fought through a lot of injuries at Syracuse. Had some concussion issues. He's added 15 pounds of muscle to the body. Jimbo Fisher, big fan of this guy. He says this guy is as tough as they come.
Second in the conference in total offense. 338 yards per game for Dungy. This pass stops at midfield to Pierce. Only one there.
Now shovel to the inside, and Marshall does an excellent job of shadowing. This is kind of a shovel pass back to the inside, but Florida State just stays at home. They're right where they're supposed to be. Excellent job by Florida State to take care of their business, read their keys, be where they're supposed to be. That's some of the things that Charles Kelly talked about, is this Florida State defense been close, but they just haven't been doing the little things, like taking care of their own job. Be where you're supposed to be. They did it there.
Dungy found Ishmael to convert the last third down. This 3rd and 6. Moneal comes up about 3 yards short. Needed to get to the 45 of Florida State for Moneal, the sophomore from Gastonia, North Carolina.
Now you run the ball there if you're considering going for it on 4th down. That's certainly what Syracuse is looking to do here.
Have gone for it on 4th down, but decided a little pooch punt from Mahoney. This time should be a legitimate attempt on 4th down for the Orange.
Florida State's on zone coverage.
They make it 64% of the time. Dungy, wide open man, complete. Jamal Custis was wide open, and he just rolls into the end zone for an Orange touchdown.
Boy, a blown coverage by Florida State. The motion by the back out of the backfield causes some indecision in the secondary. Custis comes clean. Back motioned out to the right. Uncovered Custis. Custis was more in the slot. Nobody accounted for him vertically right up the field shot. Custis, big play, blown opportunity, and a nice job by Dungy to find it.
And you talk about the blown coverage there. As the motion came out, you saw it. It was zone coverage, but Derwin was yelling towards the backer to get out. And once he got out there, he caught his eyes in the backfield. By that time, the receiver was running full speed and it's a touchdown.
Dave Archer, 47 yards on the pass play. Dungy to Custis.
4th down for Syracuse. They got their big-time quarterback in the game. He reads coverage, and Custis pulls it within a score.
47-yard touchdown pass. Eric Dungy to Jamal Custis. First of the year for Custis, second of his career. 2:27 the time for the drive, but they did it on 4th down. That drive summary brought to you by Lending Tree. When banks compete, you win. Thirteenth TD pass of the season for Eric Dungy. Rasul.
Tom, let's take a look at this play now. Florida State's going to screw up. The back is going to go in motion, so the corner is going to widen. They're playing quarters coverage. That means he takes the slot. You see the backers get screwed up to the inside. They're not showing somebody's supposed to widen. You see a corner lose ground, but the safety comes up, and there's nobody in the middle of the field. When you go quarters, you divide the field in quarters, and that safety didn't account for 2 receivers on that side of the field, and Custis has the big play.
Blackman standing, delivering, and he took a big hit. Wow, he hung right in there till the last second, Dave. Robinson made the hit on Blackman.
Oh, there's a flag down for roughing the passer. I think this was a bang-bang hit. Let's see how he hits Blackman here. See if this is a late hit on Blackman. Blackman loads it up, hits him, and I guess considered driving him into the ground, but he jumped in the air to throw it. I'm not sure there was much Robinson could do with that. I mean, once he jumped in the air, I mean, what are you going to do as a defender? You're going to let him go? I think sometimes they're asking the defensive player to do way too much to avoid hitting the quarterback.
First and 10 from the 37 for Florida State. Akers breaking through. Akers cutting back to his right. Racing to the pylon, Akers with a stiff arm. Akers into the end zone. Cam Akers fought off Scoop Bradshaw. Touchdown, Florida State, 63 yards.
Well, you can officially move on to the next great back here at Florida State. It's Cam Akers. He had a big run earlier in the game, and how about this one? And watch him finish it. 5'11", 215, runs right through the tackle at the back end to push it in the end zone. Wow.
Touchdown runs.
Strength, all of it, Tom. Package deal right there.
Dave, 54 yards on his first TD run of this quarter. 63 on this one, the longest of the freshman's first season here at Florida State. 21-7. We'll be back after these messages from Syracuse and Florida State. What a performance in the first half for Cam Akers. 7 carries, 149 yards, 2 touchdown runs, one of 54 yards, and just moments ago, fighting off Orange defenders on his way to the end zone, Dave, for 63 yards.
His speed, it was something that I don't think we've gotten to see enough of. And obviously in the last 2 runs that he's had for touchdowns, you see the perimeter speed. I think the power has been evident. At 5'11", 215, he runs with power between the tackles. I think this Florida State crowd was excited to see the speed burst on the scene here today.
The 149 yards rushing for Akers, a season high in his freshman year at Florida State. Couple of TD runs for Akers.
All right, you got the ball here and you're running it like, here's the crease.
Run the ball in the alley like your Lambeau Field. Excellent job of hitting it.
And that's the thing, when you see it as a back, do you hit it coming downhill, hit it full speed? Akers does, because now if there is an arm out there at 215, he's going to run through the arm tackle. We talk about the big plays that Florida State's put on him today. 3 50-plus yard plays make it 21-7.
Naquan Murray had the touchdown reception. Akers now has 3 rushing touchdowns this year. Came into the day with just 1 and the 2 big rushing touchdowns. Dungy will hand it off to Strickland. Nothing available for Strickland. DeMarcus Christmas.
And the important thing to remember here now, if you're Syracuse, and I know you don't have to remind the players, but if you're a Syracuse fan, this is a Syracuse team that's come back. They come back in games. You saw it against NC State. They just don't like to dig themselves a hole where you're in it. So now you got to come back. They've got the people to get it done.
Dungy's pass to Ishmael, threaded between a couple of defenders. That's up beyond the 30, close to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pass to Steve Ishmael. Marshall and James and Taylor all there. Third and short. 4 of 10 on 3rd down. Dungy's going to have to do it himself. Incomplete. Being dragged to the turf. Christmas all over him.
Probably not moving as well as he would normally move as Dungy with the foot injury.
And I think they call it an incompletion or a fumble here. Ball came out kind of strangely, but the ball didn't go out of bounds. But Dungy just not moving as well as he normally does, and Florida State taking advantage.
Hofrichter to punt for Syracuse. DJ Matthews deep at his 28. Has to backtrack at the 15. Flag comes out of the play. 52 yards on the punt. 4.5 seconds of hang time. Sterling Hofrichter.
I never touched him.
They get a late push right there in the back. Heck of a play on the tackle there for Syracuse.
Cordell Hudson making the play on special teams.
Hudson hustling down. Kind of an unsung job from time to time is that gunner on the outside. You have double team, fight through that.
So they pick up the penalty marker. Gary Patterson, we apologize for the difficulties with his microphone, working to rectify that. Florida State, it's been a while since there's been a losing season in Tallahassee. Dave, you have to go back to 1976, the first year for Bobby Bowden, the legend here at FSU.
Yeah, they're not thinking that way right now either. So, but yeah, it's been a long time since they've experienced some things that have happened to them this year.
In fact, they haven't lost 3 games in a row since 2011. They are working on a 2-game losing streak. On the road last week against Boston College, where they scored just 3 points. Not today. Rasul, right side. He's got a chunk beyond the 20. Rodney Williams on the tackle for the Orange, and a 7-yard gain. Amir Rasul, the sophomore from Miami, Florida.
You know, we watched tape on this Florida State team, and you kind of look at, we talked about the little things, blocks, your assignments. This offensive line has struggled a lot.
Yeah, you got to give them a lot of credit. Well, we watched a lot of film on them, and they were not getting to the second level on most of these runs. Today, they've changed the line of scrimmage and got to that next level, and that's where the creases happen and the big runs, obviously.
Rasul again. Christopher Frederick minus his helmet on the tackle, and a short gain for Rasul.
3-yard third down. This is where Syracuse has been. Only one team's been better in the country than Syracuse.
Florida State, 154 yards rushing, but they have not converted a third down. 0 for 3. That rushing mark well above their season average of 135, 13th in the conference. Today, they've turned up the heat on the ground. Blackman, nowhere to go. Started rolling that pocket immediately, and he's taken down.
Boy, good job, Tom, by Coleman. The edge rusher completely blows the play up. Just pressure in the face of Blackman.
Time for our Haviland defensive shield. Told you how good the Orange is on third down. And again, Florida State now, Dave, 0 for 4 in this game on third down.
Yeah, excellent job there to make the play and create a problem for Blackman, the young quarterback, and get off the field on third down.
Second in the nation, first in the conference on third down. Tyler punts. Riley waits. Bounce at the 45, and he'll get away from it. That's a Knowles bounce inside the 30. To the 28-yard line, a punt of 55 yards. Let's check in with Katie and Charlotte, see what's coming up at halftime.
Well, coming up on our PNC Investments halftime, we're going to take a look at those 2 big ACC matchups, starting with NC State and Clemson, Stan.
Listen, if you like quarterback play, this game has 2 of the best young newcomers in this conference. Josh Jackson from Virginia Tech, Malik Rozier from Miami. And they have comparable numbers. Which one's going to make mistakes?
That's Virginia Tech, Miami. What about NC State?
Big games, a lot of times it comes down to special teams. Usually you think that's Virginia Tech's favor, but it's Miami's Braxton Berrios, 6th in the nation in punt returns.
For now, we'll send it back to you guys.
Katie, thank you. We look forward to the comments from the guys at halftime. 1st and 10 line presented by Cookout, serving fresh char-grilled hamburgers, 40 fancy milkshakes. There goes Dungy on the run, testing that ankle up beyond the 35, and he took the hit. 8 yards for Dungy. Trey Marshall made the tackle. Orange moving quickly. There's a flag out. Pass was incomplete.
Part of the problem, Tom, when you go so fast, and it's something they obviously they practice, but that time a little bit too fast, didn't get everybody set. They talked to Charles Kelly, and we asked him about the tempo and how do you prepare for the tempo. They have 2 huddles going. That's what they tried to practice. They said when they looked at the Syracuse offensive line are actually looking where the ball's placed, not to go find another block.
Dungy, sideline, too far. Sean Riley was the receiver Dungy was looking for down that sideline. Orange looking for their first road win of the season. Coach Baber's team 0-3 and 0-2 in conference away from the Carrier Dome.
Florida State showing a 3-man rush potentially here, dropping 8 into coverage. See if they stay with that number of players standing around.
Dungy. Dungy has the first down and more, cuts toward midfield. Dungy to the 40 of Florida State. Eric Dungy on the design quarterback run, and he rips it off for 30.
Yeah, really took advantage of Florida State here to not stay in their rush lane. Dungy much quicker than you give him credit for. Good run.
Strickland takes it to the 35 so fast that the chains were not even set yet before Syracuse snapped that football. They got 5 yards on the play. There is a flag thrown in the Florida State secondary and close to the near sideline as well. Gary Patterson, our referee.
Too many players on the field, and they thought Florida State were too many on the field.
Illegal substitution against Florida State.
That's part of it when you start talking about tempo and you're trying to change personnel out. And Florida State did not get a defender off the field in time. And Dungy saw it. Dungy knows that's part of the package. If they're trying to sub and Syracuse is not changing personnel, the ball doesn't have to be held by the official. Dungy's going to get the ball snapped and try to catch you with too many on the field.
So 1st and 5 after the penalty. Dungy looking right. Ishmael creates separation. The catch. Steve Ishmael. Touchdown, Syracuse. "34 yards, Eric Dungy to Steve Ishmael. Second TD pass of the game for Eric Dungy.
Yeah, going to take advantage of the one-on-one opportunity. Again, this is Tavares McFadden, one of the top corners in the country. And Ishmael, the big receiver, creates some separation with a little bit of a push-off at the back end. But it's an excellent throw from Dungy to put up a big receiver up the back. He high points it, puts it in the end zone.
34 yards to Ishmael. Dungy now with 14 touchdown tosses on the season. Cole Murphy has the extra point. So Ishmael, 5th TD receiving on the season.
Now, big run by Dungy sets it up, and then Shock, you put up your big receiver, and he does a good job of creating a little bit of separation with a little push off the end.
And that's what it's all about. I talked to him earlier in the week, and I asked him, what are the best parts of your game? And he said basically just catching the ball in traffic, and then also the nuances of the game. He has such a rapport with Eric Dungy. They trust each other. They know where they're going to be at all times. They do so much after practice, during practice, before practice. But he said his big attribute is catching in traffic. A lot of people have doubted him, so every time a ball comes his way, he looks at it as it's his last time to ever catch a football. So he's always about that opportunity and making it when it's there.
Well, Shock, I think the key to that was to answer. I mean, we've seen Florida State with big play after big play. The key to your offense and staying in games, and maybe the resiliency of what Syracuse is their ability to answer that with a big play.
6 catches in the game for Ishmael for 86 yards and that TD of 34 yards from Eric Dungy. Ishmael, the senior from Miami, Florida, making the play for the Orange. They were moving quickly, and they've got their 2nd passing touchdown. A kickoff bouncing beyond the end zone. Well, the Orange has 1 win in this series, played 10 times. And it came back in 1966 at Archbold Stadium on the Syracuse campus. Ben Schwartzwalder, the head coach of the Orange.
How about the great Denver Bronco, Floyd Little? Larry Zonka, the great Miami Dolphin. How about this guy right here? Who is that, Tom?
Tom Coughlin.
Yeah. Floyd Little, Tom Coughlin, and Larry Zonka. And the guy handing off there, that was Tom's grandfather, Tom Morgan's grandfather.
The only win for the Orange in this series back in 1966, and they've got a sack. That's their 3rd of the game.
Robinson has been extremely active. He's the guy that was flagged earlier. He's going to come off this side right here. Just a blown assignment by number 74, Kelly, the left guard. Got to get a hat on Robinson, give your quarterback an opportunity. He didn't do it. Robinson planted Blackman.
Second in the game for Robinson. 2:35 to go in our first half. Akers Trying to move that pile up near the 30-yard line, run into Bennett and Franklin, but did get 10. Timeout taken now by the Orange.
Lino going to burn a timeout, try to get his offense back on the field, which I think is a good idea. You got one of the best third down defenses in the country. Why not roll the dice with your defense? Give them an opportunity to get you the ball back.
21-14, Florida State, 2:23 to go in the second quarter. ACC Football Championship weekend is around the corner. Tickets to the Night of Legends on Friday before the game on sale now at the ACC.com/Night of Legends. This year's class includes Syracuse Tom Coughlin, Florida State's Monk Bonsorti, and game tickets are still available on Ticketmaster. Don't miss out on all the festivities in Charlotte on Championship weekend.
That's a great evening to be around the legends of the game. That's pretty fun to spend a time. I had a chance to do that a couple of times. Well, you just keep your mouth shut and you listen to stories.
0 for 4 on third down for Florida State.
Double stack look, trying to create an opportunity for one of those receivers to come to the inside with an easy throw. There it is. Dropped. Boy, had exactly what they wanted. And Blackman, under some heat, makes a catchable throw to Murray. Got to catch the football. Going to get pressure. You know, you've got people coming, and he does a great job of standing in there. But this is a ball, if you're Murray, you got to catch that. That's third and short, third and medium. That extends the drive. And a good job by Jimbo to tee up second best third down defense in the country, and they pay him off.
Riley is the return man.
Riley playing way too deep, Tom.
He's at his 20-yard line, waiting for the Logan Tyler punt.
Got to come up and catch that.
He will come up to the 25 and get it on the hop. Riley to the 45.
He's very fortunate there, Tom, that he got the Sunday hop. He's playing way too deep. You got to come up, retreat on the ball, but it's hard to come and catch one. He got a good hop there and really turned into a nice return.
The punt was 45. The return was 21. So some time to work with for the Orange, trailing 21-14, 2:06 to go. Eric Dungey has a couple of TD passes in this game.
And Dungey, after being on the bench a good part of the first quarter after being hurt in that opening drive, has really come back and put together a nice, that interception was on his first throw, if I'm not mistaken, Tom. Derwin James picked him off. But since then, he's come back with a couple touchdowns.
Dungey will run it. Dungey had a key 30-yard run on the previous drive that ended up in a touchdown to Steve Ishmael on a pass from Dungey. Orange still with one timeout too, Dave.
Two timeouts, I believe, isn't it, Tom? Two timeouts for Syracuse. It says on the board 2 timeouts. Maybe they're wrong on the scoreboard here in the stadium here at Doak.
Confirming now that the Orange has 2 timeouts to work with as Dungey throws it away.
All right, now third down. Obviously, Florida State, their only goal here is to win on this down. But Syracuse, with a short field situation after the Riley return, would try not to squander this opportunity.
Dungey looking back to the left. There's nothing there. Gets away from one man. Steps into the throw down the sideline to Ishmael, incomplete.
Boy, he bought as much time as he possibly could. I thought he'd stepped out of bounds along the sideline, but a good job of Dungey to step out of the tackle. But he's on coverage down the field. Let's see how close he is here, Tom. Whoa, I guess was the toe up and the heel, or the heel up and the toe down. Very close, but a good job in the back end by Florida State to stay on coverage, knock the ball away. Take a look at it. Yeah, this changes things because Syracuse has got their offense on the field on here on 3rd and 7 or 4th and 7. So they're going to take a look. Well, I can't tell. That's hard to tell. I think if his heel's on the ground, which you're almost guaranteed his heel's not on the ground throwing the football. He's on the run, so his heel's not on the ground, so he's on his toes. I don't think that indicates necessarily he's out of bounds, but it's close.
You must have indisputable video evidence to overturn the call, which on the field, Dave, is an incomplete pass.
That's correct. And it also, the key here, Tom, is that it's 4th and 7, and Syracuse still has their offense on the field. If he's out of bounds, the ball's going to move back, I believe, somewhere around the 40-yard line. His heel's obviously off the ground in that look. You can see his heel is not down. He's on his toe. Yeah, it's going to be the other look that's going to determine whether he's out of bounds. You certainly get a double look. You understand that it's not an entire foot planted on the ground. So
Gary Patterson with the word. They are confirming that Dungy did stand out, or step out rather.
I didn't think it was that definitive. You could see that his heel was off of the ground. I didn't see his foot. It's close. There's no question it's close. But now that changes the dynamic completely. Not 4th and 7. Now it's almost 4th and 11, and Syracuse will punt the ball.
Indisputable video evidence to overturn the call, which was incomplete pass. They say he stepped out, Dave.
I didn't see the indisputable video evidence, as you so aptly remind us on this.
The letter of the law. Ball just inside the Syracuse 45. Sterling Hoffrichter, the sophomore punter from Valrico, Florida. DJ Matthews has handled the return duties. Maybe trying to figure out exactly what that clock should read on 4th and 10. That's how precise they need to be. 1 second added to the clock. Big plays, the difference for Florida State.
And really a blown opportunity for Syracuse that time on a short field, half the field.
Matthews lost the handle. Syracuse has covered at the 11.
That's just, there's no reason to try to make a play there if you're Matthews for Florida State. You got to fair catch the ball there. He's got a defender right in his face. You see Jimbo saying, "What are you doing? You're not gonna make a big play. There's no time left on the clock." That's what he just said to him. Just fair catch the ball. We'll take it at the 10-yard line. Those are the kind of mistakes that Florida State has made this year that are driving Jimbo Fisher crazy. I mean, you're not gonna make a play there. You're gonna get tackled as soon as you catch it. Just fair catch that and scrimmage from the 10-yard line. Just a poor decision right there.
Shaheem Cullen.
Tom, they made one of those last week against Boston College. There was a play very similar to that, ball rolling on the ground, and Tavares McFadden decided to try to play it. Didn't get the ball, and BC took over inside the Florida State 10.
Huge break for the Orange as Cullen covered at the 11. Dungy will move back into a shotgun formation. Strickland behind him. Dungy's got the football. Twisting down the 5-yard line.
He felt like he was face masked there too, Tom. He looked up at the official yelling, "Hey, he got my mask." And a timeout by Dino. Dino's upset too. He thought there was a face mask on the play. He's all the way down to the 10-yard line.
5 yards on the run by Eric Dungy.
Florida State has really struggled to take the ball away, and as you see the giveaways, -11. When was the last time you saw Florida State -11 in the giveaway takeaway? But only 5 takeaways coming into today. They have one today and have given one away, so that number has stayed, the differential stayed the same.
Tough to win football games, and the evidence is in the record this season for Florida State, 2-5.
Well, their #1 goal now is to try to swell up defensively and force Syracuse here to kick a field goal. Golden opportunity now for Syracuse after everything that's happened to them. Their quarterback being out, giving up 3 plays of 50-plus yards. They got a chance to equal this game going in at halftime.
Strickland got it from Dungy. Moving laterally down the 5-yard line, maybe a yard or two for Strickland. Junior from Dayton, New Jersey, and a timeout taken by the Clemson. Went to overtime after the Wolfpack had a chance to win it in regulation on a field goal.
Well, the timeout meant you got your best play on the call here. And batted down at the line of scrimmage by Florida State. It's going to be a touchdown. Tommy's got Urban Phillips coming inside wide open, and the ball gets batted down at the line of scrimmage. You can throw the ball. Look, he's got Phillips wide open, ball batted down. Christmas that elevated and batted the ball.
91 is Natty Day, so Natty had a chance at it too, the senior.
And Syracuse will go.
It's 4th down. Football's at the 4-yard line.
Well, that was the number 1 play. Let's see what that number 2 plays. And Florida State now going to burn a timeout. Make sure they're lined up properly.
Well, the Orange scored on their last 4th down attempt, the only one of the game, a 47-yard TD pass from Dungy to Jamal Custis. So a timeout, Florida State. So the last few minutes of this first half somewhat elongated now as the teams uses their timeouts. This all started with the special teams miscue by Matthews, who was fielding the punt, and Syracuse got it back at the 11. They're trying to score now.
Well, this is a team that's very comfortable going for it on 4th down. You see, they've 25 times they've gone for it on 4th down and have been pretty successful. 64%, pretty high percentage. Now you're looking at the 2 receivers. If you're Florida State, you're saying, okay, Ishmael and Urban. And Urban Phillips. I got to find those 2 guys. Those are his key guys. That's who he was throwing the ball to on 3rd down. He wanted Phillips coming to the inside. Will Florida State come with some pressure now to eliminate Dungy's ability to sort it out and have to pick one receiver out? The key to this now for Florida State is you got to stay in your lanes on your rush because Dungy could run it in.
On 4th and 3, Florida State wants to take its remaining timeout, and it will.
Well, and why not? They came out in a look that I think Florida State did not expect. Florida State expected them to be in a shotgun spread look. And the Syracuse came out in a conventional look, had a tight end in the game, had a running back in the game. Dungy was under center. I think that caught good job by Jimbo to burn the timeout because I don't think they were prepared for that look.
Florida State fighting history this year, Dave. 40 straight winning seasons. That's on the line. DJ, you got more from the sidelines.
You guys talking about the possible plays on this particular play. Now, you saw him stretch the receiver way out to the bottom of the field, and you have the back offset. I know that Dungy's a little hurt, but maybe some type of option for him out to give him a chance to get on the corner. If they take it, then he's able to pitch it. But getting that extra guy outside the box gives him one more chance to get in the zone.
It's a good point, Shock. I think if you try to run horizontally against this defense, you're playing into their hands. I think Florida State runs so well. Here's Phillips right here.
4th and 3. Dungy to his left has to come back. Now looking to throw it. Dungy all the way back to the 30, lets it fly towards the end zone. Deflected, still up in the air, and finally hits the turf. It looked like Florida State tried to keep it alive and bat it back into the end zone.
Well, and Jimbo Fisher's got his hands in the air. Why are you trying to catch that ball? Bat the ball down. It's 4th down. We get the football here. It's a run play. It's a design run for Dungy. Florida State's defense cuts it off. Now Dungy just trying to make something happen. It's 4th down. You have to just put the ball in play. Give one of your guys an opportunity. What a play there defensively to try to throw the ball back to the inside. And that's what Jimbo Fisher was so upset about. Just take the ball out of bounds. We don't need that play. Catch the ball, go out of bounds with it. We get the ball in 4th down anyway. But by throwing the ball back in bounds, it kept the ball in play for Syracuse to potentially make a catch.
How many players had a chance at that football? What a wild play to finish off this first half. Dungy, Dave, went all the way back to his own 30 before he got rid of it.
Well, he realized it's 4th down now. You can't be tackled with the ball. Just put somebody up the bat. Now, unfortunately for him, he threw it out of bounds. But really a dumb play by Florida State to try to throw it back in.
Not his own 30, but back to the 30-yard line closest to him. The ball was at the 4. He went all the way back to the 30 and then finally threw it up for grabs in the end zone.
not sure they need to snap the ball here. Blackman is up on the ball, but I think that the play clock is just a little bit more than the game clock. So yeah, they're not going to have to snap it.
Don't forget, we've got the PNC Investments halftime report coming up. Katie, Tommy, Stan in our Charlotte studios. They'll preview the two big matchups coming up today, both in the Atlantic and the Coastal in the ACC.
Well, heck of a stop by Florida State at the end after the fumbled punt. Florida State's defense holds on 4 down.
Ready to crank up the second half of the ACC Network, our game of the week, presented by Mellow Mushroom. Into the end zone, no return. Above the head of Rasul. 21-14. What a half for the freshman Cam Akers.
Boy, he has been outstanding. You're waiting for the speed to kind of burst on the scene, and you felt it here in the first half. As Cam Akers was able to get along the sideline for the first of his 2 monster runs. Here's the second one, the power to blow through the arm tackle, and then the great speed. And I think the fans here at Doak Campbell got to be excited to see their freshman running back break out. 159 yards, 210 total for Florida State, 159 on the legs of that young man right there.
Best performance so far of his freshman season. And Akers right side and near the 30. McKinley Williams on the tackle, 5 yards on the play for Akers.
Quarterback James Blackman, I think he's afforded himself pretty well. I think that he's done a nice job of taking care of the football. He's been under pressure the better part of the last quarter. I think he's done a good job of not putting the ball in harm's way. He has the one big touchdown to Murray that happened early in the game after a major penalty. I thought he was able to overcome that and make the big throw. But they've got to give this kid more time. He has the ability to hurt you.
Tough young man, 5 of 7 through the air, 57 yards, and that one touchdown that Dave spoke of to Naquan Murray. Akers again on the carry for short yardage. Paris Bennett the tackle for the Orange, the senior from Detroit, Michigan.
Tom, this is where Florida State needs somebody along the wide receiver core to step up. Needs someone to make a play here to convert on 3rd down. Over 5 on 3rd down. No touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. That's unheard of for a Jimbo Fisher team, but he needs one of his receivers to make a play here to extend this drive.
3rd and 3 from the Florida State 32-yard line for Blackman. Wants a receiver to make a play. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, just kind of an indecisive. You got a retrace route to the inside. Murray coming on the slant. I'm not sure it was a very clean. You see, and there's Jimbo talking to Matthews. He had a route where he came inside and came back out. I think it was a cloudy look for Blackman to know where to throw the football.
4th time of the game, 3 and out for the Seminoles. Riley, the deep man for Syracuse, he stands at his own 25-yard line. Tyler to punt. Riley, fair catch.
Better job, Tom, of moving up. Riley was, remember, really deep in the first half, slid up and caught that ball, didn't allow it to hit the ground. Well, we talked about this Florida State defense, and their big-timers need to step up. Derwin James made that happen in the opening drive with an interception, and then his ability to flow sideline to sideline and make tackles. That's why he's an All-American, one of the best players in the country. The guy that could play in the back end, play down in the box. They're going to need Derwin James to make some plays in this game. He affects the game. The 2 tackles, a little bit deceiving. He affects the game so much because you got to direct traffic away from that guy.
52 tackles on the season, 2nd best for Florida State. Dungy collapses at the 30-yard line after a yard.
Started out with a fake jet sweep, try to get Dungy going in the run game. Had a big run there right at the end of the first half. Been kind of bottled up. Had the injury, hadn't run much. Got a 49-yard run there right before the half.
Dungy threw for 125 yards and 2 TDs in the first half. Dances out of the pocket. Dungy looking down the field. Incomplete beyond the 40 as Strickland was trying to make the grab going out of bounds at the 42.
Yeah, Strickland does everything right, but he doesn't catch the ball. Good job by Dungy to scramble out. Strickland works back to his quarterback. Does a good job. Boy, just drops the football. Well thrown ball right along the line. Just doesn't squeeze it. And here you are now, 3rd and long. And this is where Florida State feeds on you defensively, because they can give you kind of the exotic look. Now, the last time Florida State went to this 3-down look, because you got 3 linemen that are going to go into down stance. These 3 guys right here, they were able to hurt him in the run. They hurt him in the run game.
Dungy Dave.
Again.
Near the 40, breaks the tackle across midfield, and Dungy out of bounds inside the 40 for the Orange.
Same thing happens again. They go run game against this soft look defensively. This three-man rush. Get 1 block on the outside, and then Dungy, outstanding runner, pierced the tight end, got the block that sprung him around the edge. But that 3-down look, what Syracuse has decided to do on 3rd down is to run the ball with the quarterback. Successful back-to-back plays.
29 yards on the scamper from Dungy.
I don't know if Dungy and are going to run this clock down.
And the 2.
The timeout. Nope.
Just do get it away, throw it into the flat. Irvin Phillips made the catch.
Very, very interesting. That was kind of strange. Syracuse much more of an up-pace guy team. They like to run a play between 18 and 21 seconds every time. That time took the play clock all the way down and snapped it right at the end and threw the screen outside for a nice pickup on 1st down.
5 catches now for Irvin Phillips. Just 1 to go to tie the Syracuse all-time record held by Alec Lemon.
Once again, taking their time here. Sean Lewis calling the plays from the sideline. Offensive coordinator.
Dungy with the time down near the goal line. Knocked away at the last second. Levante Taylor as Ishmael adjusted to that thrown football.
Boy, that's a nice play by Taylor, too, because this is an underthrown ball purposely by Dungy. Taylor does an excellent job to locate the ball and knock it out with the right hand. He could have easily overrun that play, and Ishmael could have just backed his way into a catch there. But Taylor does a nice job of finding it. The sophomore bats it away.
Syracuse close to the 30 with Dungy. They needed to get right to that 30-yard line for the 1st down, Dave. The Sticks are still in position.
Yeah, I think Tommy. I think he's there.
There's a Florida State player shaken up. Rolling in the 3rd quarter. Syracuse just got a 1st down. Dungy drops it off. Devin C. Butler on the catch. 6 yards.
There's zone coverage. You see McFadden turn him loose. Butler going to come underneath, and this is a nice tackle by Myers in open field to get him on the ground, or he was going to run for a 1st down. Much more deliberate here from Syracuse, Tom, with the play calling, making sure they get the right look based on what Florida State's showing them.
Dungy. Strickland. They got him around the ankles and stopped him at the 25. Trey Marshall tackle for Florida State.
Boy, sometimes you think you've got the right play called, and you know what? The other side's just a little bit better than you are on an athletic standpoint. Certainly on that play. Marshall, nice play to play the option play out of the shotgun. Forced 3rd down now. Now Dungy, they got to be aware of Dungy pulling the ball down.
There he goes into the pile. Stopped just inside the 25. No gain.
Yeah, this is a stalemate at the line of scrimmage. Give Florida State a ton of credit in the middle there. Nowhere to run. It's just kind of a power play. And a good job of forcing Dungy to try to redirect. And his foot bothering him. Tough guy, though. Back in the game. Comes with field goal unit.
Well, it looks like Coach Babers will need at least 1 field goal.
And don't forget now, the guy that's a holder is Mahoney, the quarterback.
Cole Murphy's attempt from 48 yards in the 1st quarter was blocked by Matthew Thomas. So this is 2nd attempt. He's 0 for 1. From 42 yards away. And it's good from Cole Murphy. 56th career field goal from Murphy. Makes it 21-17. Murphy connects. Syracuse points in the 3rd. Back to Tallahassee in a moment. Orange just made a field goal to close the gap to 21-17. Rasul on the return past the 15-yard line. And Moore Medical attention for Dungy. Dave, they're going to the ankle support now, maybe up to the knee.
Yeah, I got to slide that one up to the knee. So Dungy doing everything he can to stay on the field.
You already saw them tape up that right ankle.
Well, something's got to give here now for Florida State on offense, Tom. This is a quarter. They've been outscored now 62-9. They have not scored a touchdown in this quarter, and Syracuse has owned this quarter. So on the season for themselves. So Florida State now needs to get something going on offense.
Blackman diving attempt at the 24. Naquan Murray.
That's an excellent catch by Murray. Tough grab for him. And he comes off the field holding that left arm a little bit. But an excellent job by Murray to make a catch for his quarterback.
He's got a TD catch of 51 yards today. In fact, the 21 points scored in the first half by Florida State, the most they have scored in the first half this season. Going to take a look at that last play as they attend to Murray.
See if we can take a look here. It's a quick throw to the outside. That ball might have moved there late, Tom. He's got it, and then right there at the end, it looked like the ball might have moved a little bit on it.
Looking for indisputable video evidence to overturn the call, which on the field was catch.
Now remember, the ball can touch the ground. It just can't move once it touches the ground.
You need indisputable video evidence. It was not there. The call stands. Akers.
Wow, a long developing play here.
Man.
They wanted to pull. It's a broken line play. I call them broken line plays, where you pull part of your backside of your offensive line, try to seal it off and move around. Going to try to go quick here on 3rd and short.
Akers. Got it. Second level. He's bouncing off his own men now. Nothing's getting in his way, except maybe Paris Bennett.
Yeah, went quick here. This is the first 3rd down conversion of the game for Florida State, and they took advantage of Syracuse lining up a little bit late, got the ball to their best player, certainly today, Cam Akers, and he picks up the 1st down.
15 yards on the run by Akers. He's got TD runs of 54 yards and 63 yards, and they both represent a one-play drive scoring for Florida State. 181 yards rushing for Akers. Blackman wants to throw. In a congested pocket, he's got a receiver. Gavin makes the catch.
And this is such a good decision by the young quarterback. They wanted to take a shot. It's play action. He's got max protection. He's going to take a shot, but Akers doesn't take care of his guy on the blitz, so the young quarterback realizes where his outlet is. He gets the ball to Gavin quickly. Boy, what a nice decision by the youngster.
2nd down 5.
Brings up 2nd and 6 for Florida State. 7:40 and rolling in the 3rd quarter, leading 21-17. Blackman on the money. Gavin again for a successive reception down to the 41-yard line. They'll mark him right at the 40. 14 yards and a 1st down.
Yeah, nice rhythm here. Corner's going to bail out. Hitch route, 6-yard route. Ball's got to be coming out as soon as he turns around. It is. It's right on target. That's precision operation right there. Quarterback and receiver. Timing perfect.
This Florida State team went 10-3 last year. Played in the Orange Bowl and defeated Michigan. Blackman takes off, and he leaps forward to the 35.
The ball against the 2-deep look. Normally, when you see a team that wants to play a kind of a shell look defensively, meaning two secondary defenders, the 2 safeties deep, so you got 2 defenders way back here. That's normally something you want to run against because they don't have enough in the box to stop you in the run game. But right now, Florida State taking advantage. Tight splits. Look how tight the receivers are. Tight splits, taking advantage of those looks.
On 2nd and 5, Akers going to be about 2 yards short on the run by Akers as we go to DJ.
DeAndre Francois went down early in the year in that first game, and he just finally able to get back around the team, and he's helped Blackman really well in this ball game, and as well throughout the season. He's been able to help him. He's been able to watch film with him. He's been able to come in. He's been able to go to practice. And when we talked to Coach Fisher, he said he's been a huge encouragement to the freshman, and he's been through it before, so he's able to kind of recap some of the experiences he had as a young guy, and now giving it to Blackman, and it's time to play now.
While Shock was, you watched it. It was a third down play, and Akers was stopped short. They tried to go fast. Now they've kept their offense on the field here too, Tom. And Jimbo trying to get a play into his young quarterback here on 4th and short.
Nobody goes for it less on 4th down, Dave, than Florida State. Just their 7th attempt on 4th down this season. They are 3 of 6. Blackman, pressure came from the backside. He got rid of it. Ryan Izzo made the catch. 28-yard line and a first down, but Blackman is shaken up.
But Tom, how about the kid standing in? He's got to wait. This is a play that takes some time. Watch the kid. You talk about guts now. He's going to stand in there. He's going to wait. Takes a huge shot at the back end by Coleman and gets the ball to his tight end. What a nice play by the youngster, the quarterback. Well, you talk about toughness now. Going to stand in there. Knows he's going to take a shot, but waits for his tight end to clear and converts on 4th down.
First catch of the game for Ryan Izzo. From the 28 of the Orange. Akers submarined, and he'll lose a few. Harris Bennett, number 30, loss of 3. Blackman, numbers today, making his 7th start of the season. That's the most by a freshman quarterback in the history of Florida State. Second and 13 after the loss on 1st down. Akers trying to get around the corner, lost the handle, went out of bounds.
Kelly.
Cam Akers on the carry.
Zaire Franklin in pursuit. All over Akers.
Now Syracuse has swelled up a little bit against the run here in the last couple plays, Tom. And here's Zaire Franklin, one of the best linebackers in the country. Rips the ball out.
Back to the action, 21-17, inside of 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Gavin.
Pass complete to Gavin.
Yeah, he got introduced to Zaire Franklin right there, one of the best backers in the country. Franklin, the deep zone coverage that time, just a 3-man pass rush by Syracuse, and Gavin just going to come underneath and say hello to Mr. Franklin.
4th catch of the game for Keith Gavin, the sophomore from Crawfordville, Florida.
Gabbard, Jackson, and Aguayo on.
So a field goal attempt now, Ricky Aguayo. This is going to be from 49 yards away. Aguayo from 49, hugging that post. He's got it.
It's up, it's good. Florida State 24, Syracuse 17.
Great look at Bobby Bowden Field, Doak Campbell Stadium. Opened back in 1950. Let's get a preview of Georgia Tech and Virginia as we go back to Charlotte.
Thank you, Tom. Our Hardee's update is coming up in Charlottesville, Virginia at 3 o'clock. Georgia Tech taking on Virginia.
Can the Virginia passing attack get back on track? Kirk Benkirk throwing for 51 and 52% the last 2 weeks. Georgia Tech, don't turn the ball over. 10 giveaways this year.
Just about 10 minutes away from kickoff in Scott Stadium. We'll be keeping our eyes on it for you guys.
Georgia Tech has won 4 of the last 5 meetings between the schools. Virginia beat them 2 years ago down in Charlottesville. Dungy's pass to Phillips is complete. It's his sixth catch, Dave.
Good first down throw against the zone. Phillips works back. Good first down play.
One more catch, and Phillips will set the school record.
How do you know it's zone? Look how far inside the slot defender is. He's not coming out here on this slot defender. So you look at zone. Are the corners looking inside? A lot of things you look at when you try to find zone.
On 2nd and short, Dungy's pass is incomplete. Boy, that looked like a good chance for Irvin Phillips to catch it and run with it.
Phillips gets up, kind of moving it, kind of fell awkwardly on that right arm, kind of flexing that right arm, shoulder.
That is something you hardly ever see. Phillips.
Now man coverage from Florida State.
Yeah, dropping that pass right in his breadbasket. 7 of 17 on third down, and this one falls to the turf. Dungy looking for Phillips. Dungy.
That's one time you'd like to think that Dungy, but if he didn't have the knee or the foot injury, would have taken off on. But because a little bit, he decided to dump the football. It's only third and about 3 yards, and he decided to try to flip it over the top and just didn't get connected.
Matthews back to field the punt. Remember, Matthews had trouble with one late in the first half, and that allowed Syracuse to knock on the door. They could not walk through, though, after getting the ball back at the Florida State 11 after the miscue. Matthews again fields it on an in-between hop. And takes it up past the 35 to the 36. Cullen made the tackle. 45 yards on the punt, the return of 12 yards. Fans, your local Toyota dealers want to take you to the 2017 Dr. Pepper ACC Football Championship game. Visit the ACC.com/Toyota tickets to enter for 2 tickets and a pregame photo on the field at Bank of America Stadium. Make your plans for December 2nd. Clemson Tigers, the 2-time defending champs.
If they get back to getting Akers the football, he's had some success.
That's what they'll do, but during the course of the play, flags are out. And again, we apologize for the technical difficulties with the microphone of referee Gary Patterson, but the penalty goes against Florida State. Dave, how about the performances we've seen and somewhat unexpected from some running backs this year? A.J. Dillon from Boston College, Darren Hall from Pittsburgh, and now Cam Akers is running wild.
Well, I don't know that you could necessarily consider this a surprise because you knew he was going to be your featured runner, but absolutely, we've seen some guys burst on the scenes, and I guess it's because us being us in the building. They need us in the building to have these breakout performances, but Akers going to have to be big now for Florida State down the stretch.
He's having a career day with 179 yards rushing. The catch is made. It's Akers up to midfield and just barely tripped up on the play. Christopher Frederick might have saved some points, Dave.
Watch for the key block now, right out in front. Going to get a key block right there. The player on the ground, it looked like Paris Bennett on the ground. That was the key block that allowed Blackman to have a clean throwing lane to get the ball to Akers, and then Akers, when he turned, nobody in front of him. Big pickup on after that penalty.
18 yards. Akers the catch and run from midfield. Little misdirection, the pitch. Akers puts that shoulder down and absorbs some contact at the 45. Hard-earned 6 yards as he collided with Rodney Williams.
Second time they've had success with that play. Tom, make it look like they're going to run to the short side of the field, and then that option pitch to the outside with the offensive tackle in front. Good first down pickup. Florida State now having more success on first down, which is putting more pressure on Syracuse defensively.
Dave, you can see those shots. We're going right into those face masks. These guys are putting out all the effort they can in this matchup today, Florida State and Syracuse. Remember, Florida State's been to 35 straight bowl games, and they need some wins in a hurry if they want to get back to the postseason. The crowd wants a penalty. The officials do not agree.
Well, Scoot Bradshaw makes the play. He's been a little banged up this year. Tight coverage on the outside.
It's Erman Lane, the receiver, Dave, for Florida State.
Yeah, Lane's an interesting story too. Started out as a safety this year, was a wide receiver his first couple of years at Florida State. Because of the injury, Lane's had to slide back to wide receiver. Good play by Bradshaw.
So on 3rd and 4, we check out the cookout fast facts. Trouble for Florida State. Syracuse solid on 3rd down.
Well, that's who they've been. They've been very good. Second in the country coming in on 3rd down, and that's exactly who they've been today.
Just 1 for 9 in the game for the Seminoles. Blackman, pressure comes. He gets rid of it. It's just too far for the receiver, Keith Gavin.
Tommy's got to let it go just a count too soon, and so he's got to anticipate the throw. He's got man coverage on this corner route. He feels the pressure coming. and just overthrows the ball. He'd have been able to sit there and count longer. This might be a touchdown. Boy, Jimbo he says, put a little air under it, young man. Put a little air under it. Boy, it was fun talking to Jimbo yesterday. He loves coaching. He loves. And think about how many young guys he's had to coach. From Jameis a couple years. He had DeAndre last year. He's got this kid this year in Blackman. What's been a young quarterback for him over the last several years.
Riley at the 10 with the successful fair catch on a punt of 34 yards from Logan Tyler.
You can even sprinkle in the transfer Deshaun Golson, who came in from Notre Dame. He didn't know the system. Had to coach him through the system.
All right, let's head down to DJ for Gatorade. Heard around the cooler. DJ?
One guy we've talked about a lot today is Derwin James, and I had a chance to talk to him. We've seen him all over the field. He plays safety, he plays linebacker, he plays the nickel back. So I said, how do you prepare for playing all the positions? He said, I do a unique thing. I have homemade walkthroughs at his house where he literally puts down pillows, and then he mentally goes through the concept of, if I'm playing nickel, if I'm playing linebacker or safety, how do I train my eyes versus certain sets? So I thought it was pretty cool, a homemade walkthrough at home to prepare himself each and every week for each position he's going to play throughout a game.
The versatility Derwin James brings to the table is going to have to come to the forefront for Florida State here as we start to close in towards the fourth quarter. Only 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. You're right, Shock. You look at his freshman year real quickly, Tom. 91 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 9.5 tackles for loss. His All-American year 2 years ago. Hurt the knee, trying to get back to being that guy, close to being that guy again.
Steve Ishmael just made his 7th catch of the game. There's a catch by Irvin Phillips. And that catch is going to set a Syracuse record all-time in receptions. 7 catches in the game. That's a new Syracuse record with those 7 catches, and he's not stopping. There's number 8. Got 7 yards on that one. Yeah, 8 catches for Phillips in this game. So he's got 203, and that is a new Syracuse record.
So his last 2 catches, he's broken a record.
Back in Tallahassee to start the fourth quarter. Irvin Phillips, a new Syracuse record, breaking that of Alec Lemon.
Oh, nice run.
That's Mo Neal, Dave. So these are the last 2 catches. So there's the record setter, and then Dave, as you said, his next catch, he breaks his own record, right?
Another record. By the way, Irvin, don't fall asleep on your record, because Steve Ishmael is right behind you. He's got 187 catches. He's coming as well.
Those guys have combined, Dave, for 390 career catches, the most of any duo in the football bowl subdivision. Dungy on the run, and he falls down short of midfield.
Yeah, nice job by Eric not to throw. That was going to be a contested throw down the field. Decided to pull it down and get what he could get on first down. Good decision. Got a short field situation right here for Syracuse. Got to take advantage for Dino Babers in this offense.
12 rushes for 88 yards for Eric Dungy.
Phillips right here.
That's a low snap. He fields it. Phillips had a defender all over him.
Yeah, and Tom, the low snap means the throw's late because he had to reach down for the low snap.
Our third quarter stats brought to you by Tums. Who needs some Tums today, Dave?
Well, right now, Eric Dungy needs Tums if you're gonna snap the ball on the ground to him. But when you look at the numbers, look at this number right here. These 2 numbers for Florida State: yards on third down and 1 for 10 on third down. Boy, Syracuse done a nice job.
7 of 18 on third down for the Orange. Trying to get to midfield, just a little bit short of it by a yard.
I think that they're going to go for this time.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Florida State has gone another third quarter without scoring a touchdown. Have not scored one in the third all season.
Now, Florida State's been pretty strong if you try to run the ball through the middle. You see a lot of defenders crowded in the middle for Florida State.
4th and 1 for the Orange. Quickly diving for midfield.
Boy, he just barely got there if he did. I think he thought he had Florida State offside.
Brian Burns was there to meet Dungy.
Yeah, I think they snapped the ball quick here. Florida State jumps in. Now watch the ball pop up. I think they thought they had Florida State offside, and I don't think Dungy got there. I don't think he got there, Tom.
Take a close look at the right knee. Down. Where's the football?
Yeah.
That line, unofficial, Dave, but it appears he might be a little bit short.
Yeah, based on where they've got it spotted, he's short of the 50. He had to reach the 50 for the first down. I think he's going to come up about 2 or 3 inches short here.
It was 4th and 1 for the Orange. First down, Florida State. Syracuse turns it over on downs.
I think Dungey got surprised a little bit on that play, Tom, because I think the center snapped the ball thinking he had a defender in the neutral zone and didn't get the call. And I think you obviously can't review a penalty, but it certainly looked like to me, potentially looked like maybe Noddy over the center was in the neutral zone on the play.
Close play all around for both Florida State and Dino Babers and the Orange.
A lot of times when you turn over on downs, offensive coordinators like to take a shot, Tom. Let's see if there's a play action shot play here. Murray, the speedster's right up here. He caught the big touchdown in the first quarter.
Best starting field position of the game for Florida State. Blackman on the play action. Down the sideline. It's too far.
Exactly what I thought. Jimbo going out, going for the throat on the play. He had a play action, had a wheel route down the sideline. Ball thrown out of bounds. No chance for the receiver to catch the ball.
Keep in mind, Florida State working on a 9-game winning streak in this series. The only win for the Orange against Florida State came back in 1966, the first ever meeting between these two teams. 37-21 was the final at Old Archbold Stadium. Akers runs into the waiting arms of Kendall Coleman, the sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana.
And good job by Syracuse, because you got to figure they had a thought, okay, let's not get caught up in this quick change. We lost the ball and get our defense on the field, get caught on a big play. They did a good job of not getting caught on the big play, get a stop on second down, and here you go. You forced another 3rd and long situation for Florida State.
Just 1 for 10 on 3rd down of the game for Florida State. Again, they're 12th in the conference, 34% of the season on 3rd down. And this was their best starting field position. They've only advanced the ball a yard. 3rd and long. Blackman, the deep drop, the pressure right at his grill, and the pass comes up short.
Robinson, I believe that's Robinson again in the backfield. Number 94 has been camped out in the Florida State backfield. He's gotten to know James Blackman pretty well. Big hit on 3rd down.
Yeah, he's got 2 sacks in the game, Dave. Alton Robinson, sophomore from Converse, Texas.
Well, how many times he knocked him to the ground, too, Tom? You talked about the 2 sacks, but I'll bet he's got another 3 or 4 that he's knocked him to the ground just like that.
A lot of punishment administered to the young man, James Blackman.
Well, nice stop by Syracuse defensively, Tom. Short field opportunity, got the stop on 3 downs.
Riley on the bounce, grabs it in traffic. I'll tell you what, we've got some brave return men out on that field. 41 yards on the punt, just 2 yards on the return. Outside of the stadium, the statue of Bobby Bowden, the legend. Couple of national championships to his credit. When they beat Auburn 34-31 in the BCS championship game. Jameis Winston, Heisman Trophy winner. Also Charlie Ward back in '93. Chris Wenke, who was on the '99 national championship team, Heisman Trophy winner in 2000. 2nd and 5 for the Orange. Dungey cuts his losses and falls to the turf.
I like the switch up. Florida State had been playing a lot of zone coverage on 1st and 2nd down, Shock, and all of a sudden now a couple of man coverage situations with him backed up makes Dungey hold the ball.
It does, and I think you got to add to the fact that Dungey hasn't moved around as much as he probably would if he wasn't as injured. But talk about the toughness of Dungey here. We've seen the knee, we've seen the ankle, and he's still out here fighting, competing, giving his team a chance to win.
On 3rd down for Dungey. Tries to put some touch under it. Looking for Devin C. Butler. We've got penalty flags.
Yeah, if this is holding, they're going to catch a break because I don't think that ball was catchable.
McFadden was back defensively for Florida State.
I'm not sure this ball's catchable. They're going to call PI on this, and Jimbo's got an argument here. He's standing out on the field. Going to get McFadden.
Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties, but Gary Patterson indicates it's against the Noles.
Yeah, watch where this ball hits now. McFadden, I thought if he called him for holding, I believe that. But there's no chance that he catches this ball. Ball's out of bounds. I mean, I think Charles Kelly's got an argument. That's not a catchable ball. I think he held him. Now, it should have been a 5-yard holding call. I don't think it was pass interference.
Based on our replay, Dave, I would agree wholeheartedly with you. Penalty against the Noles.
And Dungey can't forget Ishmael now. He's gotten kind of hung up on throwing the ball to the short side. Got to find Ishmael and get him the ball.
Dungey through the progression, nothing available. Escaping the pocket, and he'll take a moment to get up. I mean, Dungey, who has been called a warrior time and time again by his head coach, Dino Babers, appears that he is in some discomfort. Again, we showed you in the first half had to leave with the right ankle issue. They put a brace on his knee, taped up the ankle. He's thrown a couple of TD passes, but he has really...
Ishmael right there, Tom, up top.
Dungey again stepping up. Trying to throw it off to his right to Phillips as a safety valve.
Now, Florida State's turned up the pressure a little bit on him, Tom. That front 4 now, maybe even 5, rushing the passer, are starting to get in there. Sweat coming off the edge. Or I'm sorry, that was Thomas. Matthew Thomas coming off the edge. Sweat to the inside. He almost made a critical mistake right there. Did not see the Florida State defender. So now 3rd and long.
Fellas, one thing to really take a look on is we see the brace on the right knee of Dungey. And as a quarterback, you have to step and push off that back right foot and right knee. And right now, you can tell he hasn't really had a lot of confidence pushing off that back knee to get velocity on the football.
3rd down for the Orange after the backward pass by Dungey. Strickland on the carry.
Yeah, that play right there might be more indicative of Dungey's injury than anything else.
Yeah, very conservative.
A run draw play on 3rd and 11. Defense is playing extremely well. Dino knows that, so he's going to play to what the defense has been doing for him today. Be willing to punt the ball here and try to get a stop.
DJ Matthews, with the Seminoles.
Off Richter to punt to DJ Matthews.
Matthews has great speed now, Tom. This guy can really run if he catches it cleanly.
He's at his 32. Fair catch. And Nade, 37-yard line. 34 Akers. He'll run it again, turn the corner, run over a defender, and up near midfield. 12 bruising yards from Cam Akers.
Well, good decision by Akers. Stretch play, looking for a crease, found it. Now put the foot in the ground. There you see it drive straight through the hole. Now finish with power. Runs right through the safety, Rodney Williams. Good hard running.
Dave, 19 carries, 197 yards. Cam Akers. And that is a season high for the freshman from Clinton, Mississippi. Blackman, complete on the seam. Going through the Syracuse D. Erman Lane.
Tom, this is an excellent play by Erman Lane. He's going to uncover for his quarterback. He slides inside Zaire Franklin. He was initially covered. He slid inside. Blackman was on the same page with him. He put it on him, and then Erman Lane run after the catch. Outstanding. Talked about this kid played defensive on the defensive side early in the year, made the switch to safety a year ago, or defensive back a year ago. They had to move him back to wide receiver, which is where he was his first couple of seasons here at Florida State.
Just his 2nd catch of the season for 28 yards for Lane. And now Akers down the sideline. Not afraid of contact at all. 5 yards, Cam Akers.
Akers on the perimeter. He's made had a lot of running room on that outside. Done a good job of getting to the perimeter as Cam Akers.
Dave, with that rush, he's gone to 201 yards rushing today. Amazing.
Yeah, he stepped up when they really needed him. Tom, this is an offense kind of searching for its identity. Made a lot of mistakes and not been able to run the ball consistently. Came into the game averaging just 134 yards a game on the ground. But they've upped that big time with the freshmen.
He gets it again, but he's stopped. He is stopped by McKinley Williams.
McKinley Williams came in with excellent penetration. He was able to track Akers down before he can really get the motor running. And a big play on first down.
First trip to the red zone today for Florida State, but after the loss, it moves the football back to the 24-yard line. And it's third down where the Noles have struggled today.
Erman Lane was the guy that made the play for him earlier. Who's going to step up from the receiver corps and make a play?
1 of 11 on third down. It's going to be a rush with Akers. Has to find an alternate route. Gets close to the 20, but he needed to get down close to the 13-yard line, so well short, only 2 yards.
And I like the call by Jimbo Fisher. He realizes a field goal puts him up 2 scores right here. He's got one of the better kickers in the country. So he's going to settle in and take the 3. Didn't put his quarterback in a 3rd and long situation, a chance to take a sack, to move him back, or throw an interception there. So good play calling, trying to protect his young quarterback with the play call.
So Aguayo comes in for the field goal attempt. He's made 13 of his last 14, including the 49-yarder in the 3rd quarter. This from 38 for Aguayo, and he just made it. 38-yard connection, Ricky Aguayo.
Well, the schedule is cut. He knows exactly what he needs to do. He's got to go score. Eric Dungey next.
As these teams are going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining game. Both teams have had their moments. Both defenses have made some plays from time to time. Both quarterbacks have shown how tough they are.
Just the 2nd time this season that Florida State has led going into the 4th quarter. In fact, they have not trailed this afternoon to the Orange in the 11th all-time meeting between these two programs.
Well, the tempo now will have to get back to Syracuse type of tempo, Tom. We saw them use some time in that drive in the 3rd quarter where they worked the ball down and it's ultimately settled for 3. But now they're going to have to get back to the high-octane, up-tempo. Shock, I don't expect them to spend a lot of time at the line of scrimmage in this series.
Not at all. You still got tons of time in this ball game, over 6 minutes. You still got 3 timeouts. The biggest thing is here, try to get some type of points on the board. Whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, it still gives you a chance to go back and try to stop them again.
Yeah, imperative they get points here.
331 yards of total offense for the Orange. They're 3rd best in the ACC. They average 455 yards per game of offense. Dungey, a big reason why. He's spun down just beyond the 25. Maybe 1 for Dungey.
Yeah, those interior guys for Florida State have done a nice job of really kind of slow rushing Dungey. They've stayed at home for this zone read type of run. And when he's pulled it down, they've been standing there waiting on him. His numbers so far throwing the football, and then the rushing numbers there out on the right side.
Dungey, who's run for over 1,000 yards in his Syracuse career. That was intended for Phillips.
Yeah, Derwin James. Derwin James comes in and makes a play. They line him up on that type receiver on Irvin Phillips. He's the kind of the go-to guy, Tom, when you start talking about it. I need somebody to make a play. I need Derwin James.
That's why.
3rd and 9. 7 of 20 on 3rd down. Dungey's pass. First down, Orange to Phillips.
Man, that time they took Derwin James off of Phillips. Excellent job of getting inside. Once he won over the top of the defender, he knew he needed to create a throwing lane, so he bends it back to the inside, and Dungey on the same page.
18 yards on the 10th catch of the game for Irvin Phillips. We'll go to Strickland. Spinning moves. He may have back-to-back first downs for the Orange inside the 45. James and Thomas have to bring him down.
Well, that's a nice catch by Strickland, too, because Dungey takes him back to the outside with the throw and does a really good job extending his hands and squeezing the ball. Nice run after the catch.
Dave, there is a Florida State player shaken up behind the play. It's Trey Marshall. He's number 20 and a senior. 3rd and 3 for Dungey. He's got all day back there. Needs to step up. Cannot run for it. Trying to close on him. Dungey turns the corner. He goes down the sideline. Dungey Dungy stays in bounds at the 7. First and goal, Syracuse.
Wow, this guy dragging a foot and a knee here. Just a 3-man pass rush, so a ton of time. Then a late rusher starts to shoot at Dungy, flushes him out of the pocket, and then how about the speed to outrun Murray to the sideline, and then get, I'm telling you, Thomas to the sideline, and get up the field for the first down.
Staying in bounds on that far sideline. He shovels that one out to O'Neal. He crashes down to the 3-yard line. O'Neal got 4.
This is an area where Syracuse has struggled in the red zone to try to punch it in when they've gotten down here tight. This has not been their area. Just 41% of the time, 47% of the time getting it in. Dungy.
He will just stroll in. Touchdown Orange, and it's that easy.
Bootleg play for Dungy. Boy, you gotta give that kid a ton of credit. How he's fought through a knee he'll probably have packed in ice when he heads back to Syracuse tonight on the plane. Little play fake right there, bootleg in, untouched. And Syracuse with an extra point within 3.
What a drive by the Orange. "14 plays and 75 yards for Syracuse." Dungy with his 20th career rushing TD, a Syracuse record for quarterbacks.
Eric Dungy has stepped up big. Let's take a look at this play. Okay, Florida State going to commit to stop the run. Dungy just on the naked boot going to come out. Nobody to block for him. Just play fake, just step out of it. Nobody there. You see Florida State commits to the inside against the run game. Yeah, see Dungy kind of glance over his right shoulder, making sure he didn't have somebody in his space right away. Sweat closes down to the inside, and Dungy steps around. 14 plays, 75 yards, in 3 minutes and 53 seconds. Well, Syracuse with all their timeouts now, Tom, I think will kick the ball deep here. Because remember, well, you know, I take that back. When you look at it now, it's a 3-point game. You can give yourself a 2-way go here. If you onside kick, you get the ball obviously right away. A field goal is not really going to hurt you because you still can drive down and win the game with a touchdown. So there could be an onside kick here, and Florida State is going to have to defend against that. But conventional wisdom says you kick it deep, you hold them on 3rd down, or hold them on 3 downs, use your timeouts, and get the ball back. Dino may be thinking that an onside kick gets him 2 shots at it. He either recovers the onside kick, or if they don't, he still gets the ball. He still gets the chance to stop them at 3 downs to get the ball back.
Florida State has called a timeout, Dave, with 2:55 to go. The numbers for the day for Eric Dungy, by the way, Dave, that rushing TD, his 9th of the season for the Orange, far and away the most of any rusher for Syracuse.
Yeah, rushed for 100 yards 2 weeks ago against Miami, threw 4 interceptions. But what the guy does, Tom, is you're never out of the game because he just never gets down on himself. He continues to fight you, and he can beat you both throwing and running with the football.
233 yards throwing, 97 rushing. We check it on the total plays, and they're amongst the best in the nation as far as accumulating plays.
Well, that's right on the number, because 86.5 is what they're averaging on the year. So they're right on their number after this performance so far.
Grossman, onside kick. Looked like Derwin James went up to get it on the good hands team.
Yeah, and I like the call because it gives you 2 chances. Okay, you onside kick, if you get it, beautiful. If you don't, you're still going to be in the same situation you would have been if you kicked it deep. Now you've got to get it stopped on 3 downs with the 3 timeouts. But Derwin James, that's why he's in that position. Derwin James, that ball's going to jump high. You want your best player somewhere in the area where you can get the recovery. That's why Derwin James is sitting in that spot. Now, pretty clear cut here. Now, Florida State will try to run the football. They've got to secure the ball, and Syracuse trying to get a stop at 10 yards, before 10 yards, and use their timeouts.
space for Blackman into Syracuse territory and out of bounds.
Yeah, you'd like to have seen him slide if you're Jimbo Fisher right there. So you actually provide Syracuse another timeout. But a nice play on first down. He gets 7 or 8 yards on first down.
Officially 8 yards on the carry, Dave. Down to the 45-yard line, 2nd and short.
Okay, you made the mistake. You went out of bounds. You left Syracuse with another. They calling inbounds on the play?
The Orange has taken a timeout. Obviously, they would not have had Blackman been ruled out of bounds.
Well, yeah, we're not inside 2 minutes, guys. That's my mistake. We're not inside 2 minutes. Remember, the clock's going to go. Once it's spotted, clock going to wind. So they had to take the timeout there. So a nice gain on first down, even though he went out of bounds. Cam Akers been a monster today. Florida State, they needed it because Syracuse has done a nice job against the pass. Save the one throw to Murray. They have not been able to throw the football against Syracuse, but a nice job.
That's our performance of the game. It's brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. So again, the Orange using their first timeout to stop the clock once the ball was spotted.
And interestingly enough, he's not in the game here, Tom. Got Pierre in the game to carry the ball.
Rasul close to the first down.
Sorry,
right
Rasul.
near it.
Yeah, Rasul in the game. I'm surprised Akers not in. Now here he comes. He checks in now.
Rasul might have gotten the job done.
Now, if you got a quarterback that's a big, strong guy like this kid is, I would lean forward with a quarterback right here, get the first down. It is third down, but the thing that blows up this play and blows up your opportunity for Florida State to win the game is if you take a negative play. I would tend to lean the quarterback forward for the first down here.
Just 1 of 12 on third down in the game for Florida State.
The clock running now, so good job by James Blackman, the youngster. He's going to milk the clock.
Play clock down to 3.
Dropped the snap.
Fumbled the exchange.
He fumbled the snap, Tom, and I think Syracuse may have came up with a ball. They did.
Recovered by Syracuse.
He fumbled the snap.
Amazing turn of events.
And I think they were going to run quarterback sneak. Give Syracuse credit. They stemmed down defensively.
Dave, that was Paris Bennett who came in and just forcefully took it away from Blackman. Take a look.
The key here is, does Blackman recover it with a knee on the ground, though, Tom? It looks like to me Blackman's knee's on the ground when he picks the ball up. Watch Blackman's left knee when he has the ball in his hands. Okay, he's down with his knee and he's got the ball in his hands. And I think that's going to be Florida. I think they're going to flip this over, Tom. His knee's on the ground. He's got the ball in his hands. The ball's on the ground. Going to pick it up right there. Now he's got recovery, knee on the ground. And now Paris Bennett shoots in as he gets up off the ground and takes the ball from him. I think Florida State's going to retain possession of the ball. Now they will be short of the first down. It's going to be fourth down now. It's the right play by Jimbo. I think a nice job of bleeding the clock as much as he could down to a minute and a half left. Need a good execution by your punt unit here to try to pin Syracuse.
8th time that Tyler has punted. Riley watches it bounce at the 11, takes a Syracuse roll, and finally stopped near the 18. It's a 27-yard punt. Dungy back on the field for the Orange.
All right, Shock, you got 2 timeouts left. You know the clock's going to stop with first down, so because the time's where it's at, got to have an idea that you'd like to push the ball, but you don't want to put it in harm's way because you're looking for a field goal here.
Yeah, Arch, I think the biggest thing to happen right now is you have to get going. This first play has to be big for you. You got to get a completion. You got to stay in positive yardage. Do not have a negative yardage play on this first play to get your drive going.
Dungy escapes. Dungy past the 30. Made a cut at the 35 and got to the 38. Eric Dungy.
Tom, it's man coverage, so as soon as Dungy breaks the pocket, there's nobody there for him. Excellent job and recognition by Eric Dungy.
20 yards on the rush by Dungy. Back to work, right side, caught. 45-yard line, Irvin Phillips, another grab for 5 yards.
And a quick timeout by Dino Babers. He was right in the ear of the official as soon as Phillips caught the football.
11 catches for Irvin Phillips. As Dave mentioned, we did the game at NC State when Syracuse traveled to Raleigh, and Phillips came up with 17 receptions to set an ACC record.
Well, this is man coverage down the field. Dungy recognizes that. If he breaks contain, he's got room to run, and it's a big run for Dungy. This was something that Charles Kelly was worried about. If we play man, which we want to do against this receiver corps, we're going to be vulnerable to the quarterback run.
And one thing that when we talked to Coach about it, he said his calls have to be simplistic, so there's not a lot of disguising. Because they go fast, they line up in it. So pre-snap, Dungy already knows if it's man or zone. And as soon as the ball snaps, he can take off, or he knows where to go with the football.
Yeah, his recognition shot has been spot on here in the second half and when to take off. And that's where Florida State's got to be a little careful here. Remember, Syracuse touchdown wins it for them. Obviously, they're looking for a field goal to potentially tie it. So do you play man coverage? If you do, there's got to be somebody spying Eric Dungy.
118 yards rushing for Dungy. That's a career high. Choosing to throw in this instance. Dungy swallowed up and dropped. Just too much time.
And a timeout by Dino Babers. Cannot take a sack there. That's a bad play by Dungy. He's got to throw the ball away. Spying Dungy on the play was Derwin James.
Loss of 10.
Here's Derwin James right here in the middle. He's shadowing the quarterback. Here comes the pressure. Dungy got to throw that away, but he tried to break contain. Here's Derwin James rocking down the middle, right here in the middle. He's watching the quarterback all the way. Look down the field. Who's he going to throw it to? Maybe an option right here, maybe an option right there. But Derwin James is shadowing the quarterback so he can't run it.
Noddy the sack, his second of the year.
And that's a bad decision by Eric. He's had a heck of a day, but you got to throw the ball away there. Must throw the ball, could not take a loss. And now no timeouts left. 3rd and 14.
52 seconds to go.
Now you still have 2 plays, Tom, to pick up the first down. So Dungy can't be so caught up, and then he's got to force the ball down the field. Now, if he completes it short of the first down line, you've got to rush to the line of scrimmage and get that second play off.
No timeouts for the Orange.
Here's Derwin James right
27-24. Dungy at midfield to Ishmael. How did he get away? He was well covered by Taylor. They got tangled up. First down, Syracuse, 15 yards.
Yeah, it's just a spot throw. All Ishmael does is release up to the sticks and just outfights Taylor for the ball.
11 catches for Steve Ishmael. None bigger than that one.
Got to get it out.
Dungy got rid of it this time.
I know Dungy's trying to buy time, but really at this point in the game, he's got to have a pretty good idea where he wants to throw the ball, Tom, or throw it away, because all you're doing, if you're trying to buy time, is you're eating clock, especially if you're staying in the pocket.
It's a Florida State player who is shaken up the whole way. Dungy inside the 35 and complete. Irvin Phillips.
And the clock stopped now. If you're Dungy, you kill the clock right here. You clock it.
16 yards on that pass play. You said, Dave, they've got to get to the 35. They're at the 34. Dungy with a player around his ankles, and he got rid of it. Kando was pressuring Dungy.
Yeah, the freshman had gotten in around his legs here. He gets singled up on the back, Strickland, and Strickland does the shoe duster block.
It's an awkward fall by Dungy, too.
He had a defender land on the back of his legs. He just did a nice job. Now, what you're obviously trying to make this an easier opportunity from a kick standpoint, but if you complete the ball inbounds, there's a chance you won't get another snap if you're short of the first down line.
No timeouts. 16 seconds to go. Dungy lets it fly near the boundary and caught.
Boy, how good a throw was that?
Ishmael on the grab at 9 yards, out of bounds.
Not going to get better coverage than what Taylor has here. He's right in the hip pocket of Ishmael, but the ball is right on the money to Ishmael. Little toe tap and step out of bounds.
11 seconds to go, no timeouts, 3rd and 1.
Remember, you complete the ball for a first down, you'll be able to kill the clock. Cannot take a sack. Cannot take a sack.
Gets away, gets rid of it, deflected away and incomplete. 6 seconds on the clock. It's 4th down. Here comes Cole Murphy. 1 for 2 today. The miss from 48 after it was deflected. The make from 42 yards away in the 3rd quarter. This attempt for Murphy to tie this game with 6 seconds to go, and Florida State is going to make him think about it.
Yeah, he has had an excellent year. Tom, you mentioned the field goal attempt in the 1st quarter that was tipped. He had come in, made 9 straight. Since then, he's made a field goal today. But he has had a solid year for Dino Babers.
The field goal attempt is going to be in the 42-yard range for Murphy. Again, as long as 53, which he hit a couple of weeks ago against Miami.
Florida State has to be careful here. It's 4th and 1, and you know you want to try to block the field goal, but you can't get too eager and jump off sides and make it an easier field goal for them. So they have to be careful here as well.
DJ, 6 seconds to go. What a football game. 27-24. Jimbo Fisher's team in search of its first home win of the year.
Well, Tom, how about Hofrichter, Florida native, Valrico, Florida. 43-yard opportunity here.
This to tie the game. 6 seconds to go. Cole Murphy, the senior. From 43 yards away. It's no good. The clock runs out and Florida State has won it 27-24. "43 yards away for Cole Murphy. Florida State wins it in thrilling fashion, 27-24 for their 3rd win of the season, and Syracuse denied its first road victory of the year. Now 0-4 and 0-3 in conference away from Syracuse, New York. Just that close for Cole Murphy. What an incredible finish.